Okay, you see this place? This place here. It's the Cain Pole, the place you should be getting all of your bait and tackle. The latest in fishing technology, lures, reels, rods, line, and of course, bait, crickets, shiners, goldfish, frozen bait, and worms of all kinds. Too much to mention it all. Check out the Cain Pole on Facebook, or come on by and let us show you how to catch more fish, because catching fish is fun. The Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza, Richmond, KY.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. See, nice. Nice. Monster. Look at that bad boy. Look at that bad boy. Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show. Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary, Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill, and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon, Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Hello, Mr. Lewis.
Hello, Ian.
How are you today,
I'm
sir?
very good, thank you. How are you?
How have you been?
Hey, I'm good. You?
Good. What's
Yeah?
been going on lately?
Hey, man, listen, I have honestly not been doing any fishing.
Yes, you have. You
Well-
fished Monday night with me.
I did. I snuck
Smoke
out
show
there
at
about 8 o'clock, 8:15, and we can show those awesome pictures that I caught.
What's first?
I mean,
What do you want to show first in comparison?
show Ian's because he's going to want to see it first.
Look at
That's
the
fine.
Magnum. This is a Reba Giant, every bit of 15 inches.
Why are you so mad? You never smile in your fishing pictures.
He's like he's angry at the fish.
Right?
You know?
So, but he never does.
No, never.
That's right.
Undefeated, never lost.
Undefeated, never lost, right?
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds.
And Kent's.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
look at
let's
my
see.
Reba Giant.
Shoot!
Bam! Right there.
Where's it at?
Yep. Right? You can't see it. And look, it made me make a goofy smile and all kinds of stuff. But, you know.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Oh, make it look big.
Oh, there.
Oh, it's there. Look at that goofy smile.
Magnum.
Oh, my gosh. That's terrible. Anyway. So, hey, thanks for joining us on the Cain Pole Fishing Show. We are back with Ian Hurd,
The turd.
the great mullet man himself, otherwise known. Oh, what was that? What was the Junebug's nickname?
Chicken lips.
Chicken Lips, he calls you. Anyway, that's what he's been calling you lately. And I want to say thanks for tuning in. It's been, it's been just a busy 2 weeks here.
It has been
You know,
quite busy.
We haven't, I haven't been doing much fishing, I'll be honest. I've been at the store a lot. There's a lot going on here. We're trying to track down a lot of inventory, and obviously I think it's out now that officially that we have got our sign up and we are moving very quickly on our Frankfurt location. So we're hoping to have that done here in the next couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
Cain Pole number dose.
2. That's right. It has the sign is there. If you want to go by,
Take a picture.
take a picture, see it. They're doing some work in there for sure, but that is moving very quickly, and we're hoping to have that done the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Hopefully.
So excited about that.
Does that mean we have another open house?
That means we have probably
that
another
mean
open
deals?
house, deals, sales, inventory. So just be patient with us as we try to get our minnow tanks and shiner tanks up and going, and we're working on plumbing now, so hopefully that will be done sooner than later. But anyway, that if you want to stop by there, that is off the 58 exit, just past Lowe's on the left, and then continue on, and you'll see a Domino's Pizza, and we're right past it. Literally, you can walk to Domino's in about 3 seconds.
Hey, kind of like we can walk to Pizza Hut in
Yeah.
like 3 seconds.
We're right next.
here.
It's our strategy, right? We're going to put a
Find the
fishing store.
nearest pizza store and
put-
look to your left, and you'll see a Cain Pole.
That's it. That's the new strategy. You know, that's what they did with like I think it was either Burger King or one of those restaurants. What they did is everywhere there was a McDonald's, they stuck a Burger King. and that was their actual business strategy in their meetings. They said everywhere there is a McDonald's, that's where we're going to put it. I mean, it's not a bad strategy if you think about it, right?
Kind of like everywhere you see Lowe's, there's a Walmart.
There is. Seems to be that way, isn't there?
Exactly.
So
Daughters and their baby hunts and
I don't know what's Randy talking about right now.
He's irrelevant.
He's lost. He's irrelevant. He is irrelevant right now. I mean, he could turn our show off, so we can't say he's completely irrelevant. Is he still talking?
Yeah.
He's still talking.
To the Walmart daughter. That's the reason they're related.
Oh, really?
You notice the color's the same? Yeah.
The Hunt son that owns Lowe's.
No.
Okay.
JB Hunt.
JB Hunt. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Billionaire.
Yes, I know.
Billionaires burying
Yep.
billionaires.
Okay.
That's what
Great. Awesome.
Okay, cool. Good enough.
Okay. Well,
Glad I needed to know that, Randy. Thank you so much.
thank you for that tidbit of information on our fishing show, Randy. That helped a lot.
Next up.
Hey, so a few things. We have a unexpected guest tonight.
Unexpected.
Yes. So Nate Noble from 13 Fishing stopped by today. We had a conversation. He's like, hey, man, I'm staying in town. I just don't feel like driving tonight, and he is here. All right, so we're going to have him up on the show, talk a little bit about 13 Fishing, what's coming up for ICAST, some new exciting things from 13, and then, of course, some of our 13 rods and baits that we have here, along with some of his favorite baits. He's a big kayaker, so excited. And I'm going to have him talk a little bit about his trip on. He went down to Little Barron River this past week too, so we'll talk a little bit about that. So awesome.
Little Barron.
Yeah, so he's here. Anyway, we're going to jump right in, Ian. Hey, I didn't even ask you, man, have you fished any tournaments, done any good, anything?
No. Yeah, kind of.
Y'all came in second down at the Linville Night Tournament or something, right?
Tuesday night on Linville, like 2 weeks ago, came in second. Came like fifth last week. This week, came in both seventh or eighth. They smoked them last night on Linville, dude. When it's taking 14 pounds to win on Linville, something's going
pretty
on.
good.
Yeah, because it's an average bag up there is like 6 pounds.
Yeah.
So
But I think
14,
it's officially
15
that we
pounds.
can say that the night bite is starting to
starting
come
to
on,
heat up.
right? And it's getting hot to fish during the day,
Yeah, it's getting warmish.
which is typical, right? We're past Memorial Day. Is that right? Labor Day? Memorial Day?
One of the days.
Yeah, we're past Memorial Day, and in between
On the way to Labor
On our
Day.
way
and
to
Memorial
Labor.
Day and Labor Day is typically we're
Swimming
day
season.
tournaments are not exactly
Pristine.
yes pristine, especially on the big lakes. So
Is it pristine or pristine?
I don't know. Depends. Is it crayon or crown?
Crayon.
Right? It's crayon.
Crayon.
No, it's not.
Or is it colors?
Huh? Oh my gosh. Here we go, Randy.
it tomato or
Once again.
tomato?
Once again. Okay.
Welcome to
Great.
the show, Nate.
Welcome to the show, Nate. It's live. We don't know what we're talking about half the time, but we're trying. Hey,
Hey,
listen. We got some new stuff to talk about.
I'm all ears, Kent. Let's hear it.
So let's do this. First off, TH Marine, we ordered this back in October. This to give you an idea. We ordered a whole little marine section because I get a lot of questions about, hey, do you have a winch strap? Do you have a buoy? Do you have a bilge pump? Do you have something I could use in my boat? So forth. So finally, this week, right? That's not a drop shot weight, by the way. We finally got in our TH Marine. Ow. We got in our TH Marine order, so we'll be setting that up this week, and we'll have it all together. And so we have some marine accessories for sure, and then we can order replacements for that. So
I didn't know
certainly,
boats had fenders.
yeah, they have fenders.
Boat fender.
Yeah, that's actually what it's called. It's not a boat buoy. We call them buoys, but it's
it's
a
a
boat
fender.
fender. All right. So anyway, we've got TH Marine accessories that we'll be setting up, and that'll be nice to have finally. So we got bilge pumps and ropes and winch straps. I think I brought in. So I just grabbed a few items. Lights, bow lights, anchor lights, things like that. So excited
Just
to have.
necessities, huh?
Yeah, just the necessities, right? So if there's something you need and you quick, and we'll have it, right? So that's exciting. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I meant to mention this a little bit is that our friends at J&L Market or at 2020 Tackle basically have created their own color style floats. You can only
These are
get them
wicked.
through the distributors through them, but they're great floats. They come in 12, 10, and 7, I think. So we're excited to have those. We are getting restocked this week. So we have a few left, but we're selling them. They are great floats.
Oh, the background doesn't really pick it up.
It doesn't?
That's a pretty good, yeah.
It does.
The blue, red.
You don't set it in the blue. Set it over here in the. There you go. Yeah, like that. Anyway, so new colored floats, great floats. You can find them here. We've got a great variety of floats. Also, our R-Trip floats that you all have been asking for that we've run out of stock. Those should be in this week. We've got a huge order coming in. So we're excited about having those. And the new R-Trip crappie floats that like flew off the shelf. The little 3-inch guys, they are awesome. And so be sure those will be back in stock this week as well. So be definitely, if you're crappie fishing, come check those out because I've heard nothing but rave reviews.
Yeah, they're great
on those crappie floats. So and I wish I had one to show, but I don't. All right, over to bass for just a second. Talk about, we just got our jackhammers, just 4 or 5 colors back in stock.
In half and 3/8.
Yep, half ounce and 3/8. So our jackhammer wall is back to being loaded. So if you want to check out our jackhammer selection, be sure to come in there.
Golden Shiner and black and blue.
Black and blue, right?
Yep, and then we also have the chartreuse glimmer or whatever it's called.
Yeah, and the Beate.
Beate.
Right?
Yeah, there's a couple we got back in, a couple of the popular colors, but I think it's one of the best chatterbaits on the market.
There's no doubt.
And
right?
it's up there. Thunder Cricket's a good one too. I like the Thunder Cricket,
Yep.
but I believe for what it is, it's the best chatterbait on the market.
Yeah, and people ask about that all the time, but I have to say it's the mechanics and the technology.
Absolutely.
You know, it's the type of material they use that I think makes it so good. So definitely hit. Hey, I see the old Kenny Harden there popping in.
Kinski.
Hey, I'll pause for a second. If there's any questions for 13 Fishing, for Nate around what's coming up, what's going on, you can start asking questions now, and then we'll address them when he comes up here in the middle of the show. So definitely want to make sure that he gets some questions. So, or any questions for us. We're live. I'm actually watching Randy type right now for questions at 13 Fishing. Right? So be sure to pop on there and ask any questions, those guys that are watching. Anyway.
This?
Yes.
Let's talk about this, huh?
P-line. Typically in April,
yes,
we do a buy one, get one free on P-line. But the last 2 years, it's been with tactical fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
This year, it's with P-line soft
pure
fluorocarbon, right? A little bit softer line, but it was supposed to be in April.
And
it is now in July. So I'll hold this up. Oh, let me do this. There you go. So buy one, get one free. P-line fluorocarbon, right? July 1st, right, through the 31st. During the whole entire month of July, if you buy one P-line fluorocarbon, you get a second one free. So definitely come and check that out.
If you like P-line, come get it.
Yep. We'll start July 1st as long as supplies last. We've got a bunch, but we're getting more. But we're going to sell it till we're out. Okay? So definitely come, buy one, get one free, fluorocarbon.
Starting July 1st.
And it has to be the same one, right? Or less price. Okay? I believe is how it is. So I'll double check, but yes.
Blue box fluorocarbon.
Blue box fluorocarbon. Got it? Awesome. So that's during the month of July. Make sure you remember that. All right. So I have a question.
I doubt I have an answer, but I'll surely try.
So I need to find, and I've looked at a bunch, but as we know, Cabin Creek salt tubes that were so popular that they don't sell
They were gas. Absolutely.
They don't sell to us anymore, right? To dealers. They sell direct. So I'm trying to find a salt tube that mimics or is close to them. I've looked at the lunch money tubes from Case Plastics.
Have you looked at the Dry Creeks?
I've not looked at Dry Creek yet.
So
that's what I'm asking. I'd like to pose a question. Is there anybody out there that thinks that there is a tube that can help mimic for for Cabin Creek, right?
yeah.
Similar to that. Because what happens is, now these are the big bites, right? And I just got some samples in, right? So check those out. All right, that's about the right size. These are a bunch of different sizes, okay? Those actually look really good.
Like a DT grub type
Yeah,
deal?
that's a double tail grub from.
See, already I don't like I'm not a fan
It's
of the
too
feel.
thick, right?
Yeah, I'm not a fan at all. And that's nothing against Big Bite. That's just my
No, I
preference
know.
as a tube fisherman.
But like the Zoom are really thick.
Yeah.
Right.
The Strike Kings,
And I
they're
think
really
if you
thick
want
too.
something that thick, that's fine. But like, see what you always drop something off the table. Every show, you drop something,
True.
right?
Or two.
Feel that.
Yeah, it's too hard.
Yeah, it's like, it's almost, I don't know, right? And I like it. I'm not trying to say that it's wrong, because there's some guys that want that style of bait, right?
And again, it might have better action.
It lasts longer,
Yeah.
I would say. But the popularity that we have here is those salt, almost like finesse tubes. They're almost like the robo worm of a tube. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They're like that thin. So that's why you go through so many, I guess. But
Yeah.
definitely, it looks good. Like the tube looks great. But
You got a Magnum?
we
One of
got,
the big ones?
hey man, check these out.
Yeah, I'm
See,
a
those
fan.
almost-
Now, I'm a fan of that.
That almost
Yeah.
feels softer though.
It's a lot softer. It doesn't almost. It's a whole lot softer.
All right, look at that thing.
Yeah, I'm
I
a
mean,
fan
that
of
is
that.
a tube, man.
I'm a big fan of that. I like that.
So that's the two. That's a
But
flipping.
that thing's heavy within itself.
Yeah, it's a flipping.
Oh, look.
Almost did it.
It looks red on the camera.
Almost did it. Now these are the tour tubes. They might be a little different, but no, they're the same.
Are
They,
they? Well, no, they're a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're definitely softer.
So, anyway,
See, now this doesn't feel that bad, honestly.
is there any comments on tubes?
I like that.
Need to find
Mismo.
Mismo. Bob says Mismo tubes. I haven't seen those,
We'll have
so
to
I'd like
figure
to
that out.
check that out. Right?
Yeah, now the tour tubes, I like that.
The tour.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a whole lot softer. Feel the white and then feel that.
Well,
It's a whole lot softer.
it is softer. You're right. So maybe that's what that is.
Now, I don't know. Those legs are a little thick, but I don't know if that'll affect anything.
I don't know. It is softer though. You're right.
Nate, do you tube fish?
Not very much. No.
I like ripping one on Cumberland.
I don't.
Snatching a tube, buddy.
You know what? You fish everything.
And then about 40 foot of water off a point.
Just breathe, Kent. Just
Bad
breathe.
news.
Just bring it down.
I'm sorry I did
Hey, no. My favorite. Listen, my favorite. I'm gonna go back to 2 shows ago because my favorite. Because you decided to fish during the last show and not make it. You just kind of didn't show up. But the show before that, when we asked you how you did at Kentucky Lake, and you literally took us through every minute for like 12 minutes and told us, I got up, I casted my rod, right?
I
This is
didn't
what
go through
happened,
it like that.
and then I caught this fish.
You asked
then I
for a
missed it,
breakdown of
then
the
I put
tournament.
deodorant on, and then I came and ate a snack, and then I went to fishing again. I mean, it was
No, you
pretty
asked for a
detailed.
tournament breakdown, and I gave you a tournament breakdown of a walkthrough throughout my day.
All right. Okay. Hey, Mismo tubes. We'll have to check those out. Mismo tubes. All right. Any other questions there on tubes? Comments?
Louis
Anything? Kenny, you
veterinarian.
fished a tube? I've still got
Double
some
dipped.
original double dip cap. Of course.
It'd be nice to have some.
It'd be nice.
If you want to donate some, I know a man who likes fishing a tube
Yep. I still got a bunch of Cabin Creek tubes at the house.
and won't let me touch them.
Nope. You're not getting them.
I've seen them with
Because
my
you-
own eyes.
You take everything.
Correct. What would you not if you just had a pile of Cabin
No, I
Creek
mean,
sitting in front of you?
Maybe.
Okay then.
But you try.
I
You
give
just
it a best
walk
go.
out. So awesome. Well, I'll have to check out the Mismo tubes, Bob, for sure. See what those are like. So I'm going to look for some. Right, the lunch money tubes from Case seem pretty
And
good.
then what's it called?
Mismo, right?
I'll research that.
So if anybody's got any ideas, post it on our Facebook page. I'd love to definitely get some ideas on where we could find some tubes.
You want to talk about them? I'm excited about those.
Yes.
Really excited.
So let's talk about these finally. Okay. First off.
Pass me the 2 blues.
All right. So.
Did you not grab it?
Yeah, I got it. So this is the original NRX for you guys.
Yeah.
This is the NRX that we've grown to be accustomed with from G Loomis.
Yeah.
This is actually I just grabbed one. This is a 893 actually. All right, medium heavy. So it's a blue, right? It's got the blue thread all the way up to the tip, and the real seat that we've grown to accustom.
The thin real seat.
The thin.
We'll say that.
That is correct.
Hold on, grab the new Plus, and I'll show you something with the real seat.
So here's the new Plus. All right.
I don't know if you can distinguish it on camera.
It's kind of hard.
But given this has the thick blank right here, and there's no wrapping, there's nothing around it. It's kind of just real seat blank. And then with the new one, it's got a whole it's a brand new real seat technology. It's the CI4 technology, and it's got the rubber kind of hard plastic deal on the outside of it, which I don't know how that'll fish compared to that one with the small real seat. Well, I've heard from people they love it, and I've heard from people they don't like how thick it is.
Well, here's what I can tell you. They might not like that, but the reel sits there. But here's the other thing, is that the actual fin itself is a little bit smaller and not as thick. So it's hard to kind of tell, but this right here is a little bit thinner and not as thick. All right, and definitely the reel seat on the old one, you can see how the top, this actually digs the actual reel, the seat of the reel will go up further. But they have an all-new, obviously improved cork. It's a full cork grip handle.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but this.
On the NBRs, the moving bait rods. With the Spiral X blank wrap, which I'm a huge fan of that. As in, like, the Conquest has it, kind of the Zodius deal.
That's right. So they've kind of gone to that whole Zodius feel.
And it's fantastic.
But Conquest feels one. And then the blue stops.
Which is great.
Which is great, and goes all the way to black. So I think one of the great things is that we had said when we kind of talked about this in kind of our feedback, is that we didn't want to lose the blue because the blue set apart the NRX. And so they did a great job of keeping the blue here and then moving to the black for the rest of the rod.
But they've taken the green out of it, which I just noticed that.
Yeah, it's solid blue.
Yeah.
So great looking rod. It feels amazing. The reel seat feels amazing.
Yeah, I love it.
And so these are now retailing around $625 for the NRX Loomis rod.
So
I will tell you.
What about with the Conquest? What's you know the deal there?
Yeah. Go ahead. You can tell them about it.
So is the NRX Plus replacing replacing the NRX and the Conquest, or do you think they will replace the Conquest with a different line?
It's a good question, isn't it?
I kind of feel they've got something hidden coming.
Yeah, well, they typically do.
Exactly.
Right? I can't speak on a lot of it, but I will just say that yes, maybe. No.
No.
I don't know.
Say no.
So, hey, this is the spinning rod, by the way.
610 DSR. Ooh.
Yes, and it is amazing.
Love. It is love.
So definitely come in and feel this. I love the reel seat. The new.
Ooh, the carbon fiber accent.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's
so
beautiful.
I'm super excited. Hey, super excited about having the new. Of course, you know I love drop shot. And so,
no, we don't ever throw a drop shot, Ken.
Right, sorry about that. Also, we got back in.
Did you get the Nedrick specific?
I didn't get the Nedrick specific rod, but I did get in. Here you go. The new
chatterbait rods.
Yes, we've been out of the chatterbait rods, and we've been out of the lipless rod, and so we just got these in. It's gorgeous red color. Another great rod. This is in the IMX Pro series. And they've come back with the colors, to designate. And the Ned Rig rod is like a kind of a darkish off green color. So definitely check that out. Right? And we've got all those in stock.
The NRX Plus, we only got one of them in, and Drew bought it. Drew Freeman did, but they have a 7.5 or 7.4 medium heavy chatterbait specific rod, and it felt.
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
It felt great.
Yeah.
And it lasted literally probably 30 minutes before Drew came and got it.
Yeah, so we're excited about having when we are loaded on Loomis rods.
We are,
so, in fact,
2 racks full.
We are 2 racks full plus extras.
Backstock.
So definitely.
When can you say we've had backstock of Loomis?
It's been a while. So we're definitely excited to have stock in. So thanks to Drew and the team for getting us some rods. But I'll be honest though, he helped us place the order months and months and months ago. All right, so this has been orders that we've had, and they're just starting to come in.
I'm glad they're coming in though.
Yeah. So come and check out the new Loomis series. We got plenty of E6X. We got
Tons and tons of IMXs.
We got tons of IMX Pro. The new NRXs are here. A few GLX left, and one Conquest on the rack. We sold the other ones.
7 foot heavy is what
Yeah.
their Conquest is.
Yeah, great rod.
Need a
Hey.
jig rod? Come get it.
So because we
You're
have an
not kicking me
unexpected
off.
guest, I'm kicking
No,
you
you're
off.
not. Nope.
I am.
I
See, I'm
refuse to
looking
leave.
down here,
I
and I'm
refuse to
kicking
leave.
you off. Is
I
there any
refuse to
questions before I kick out Ian off the set?
No questions.
Awesome. So, look, we're going to pop to a quick commercial. As soon as we get back, I'll have Nate up here. We're going to talk a little about him, where he got into fishing, and we'll talk into 13 fishing and get some details going at iCast. We'll see you in a minute.
We'll see you right here again.
Okay, you see this place? This place here. It's the Cain Pole, the place you should be getting all of your bait and tackle. The latest in fishing technology. Lures, reels, rods, line, and of course, bait, crickets, shiners, goldfish, frozen bait, and worms of all kinds. Too much to mention it all. Check out the Cain Pole on Facebook, or come on by and let us show you how to catch more fish, because catching fish is fun. The Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza, Richmond, KY.
Made it!
Barely.
Running straight 12 feet.
Yep.
Anyway, hey, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, good to see you. Glad I popped in
I
today.
know. I was sitting there, and I saw you walk by the rods, and I went, is that who I think it is? And then you walked back around, and then you saw me, and you came back around and said, hey. So I'm glad you popped in today, man.
Yeah.
And have a perfect day to have the show tonight.
Yeah. I'm excited to be
So,
on the show.
awesome.
Talk about fishing. I love
Yeah,
fishing.
well,
Everything
that's
about it.
exactly what we're going to do.
That's right.
So why don't you just tell them just a little bit about your story, where you're from, how you got in, and then what you're doing now with 13, how long you've been with 13, and so forth.
Cool. Well, I have a pretty wild fishing background. My dad was actually the editor of American Angler magazine back in the 70s.
Wow.
And, he started with John Fox, the legend John Fox. They started the American Angler Bass Tour around the same time as Bassmaster got started. So he fished back in the day, Bassmaster events and stuff like that. I have pictures of my dad with Ray Scott giving him the big check next to Jimmy Houston and Roland
Right.
and all those guys. He used to beat him quite often. And he got me into fishing when I was young. And I started bass fishing professionally back in late 99 or late 1990s into the early 2000s. I was part of the Champion Boats Pro Team for a while, and then went to Nitro Bass Pro Shops Pro Team for the last 3 years of my bass fishing career.
Yeah.
And then I decided to raise a family, so I got out of all that. Been
Understood.
a fisherman all my life, and we still guide in Florida. My dad has a guide service down there. It's FloridaTrophyBassFishing.com.
And where's that
And,
based out of?
He's in Lake Wales, which is south of Orlando, but he
Okay.
fishes Stick Marsh, Farm 13, the new lake, which is Headwaters, Fellsmere, very popular right now, brand new bass lake that they just opened last August. So I've been doing that. I became the 13 fishing rep back in September, learning a lot about the line. It's a phenomenal company, phenomenal. 13 Fishing is a very extensive line: rods, reels, baits, accessories, apparel. They pretty much got it all, and it's a really neat company to represent, and really cool products.
And a little bit background on 13. It got its start. Ice fishing?
It's an ice fishing company originally, and they still do huge ice numbers.
Yeah.
They're very into the ice fishing, and I guess everybody always wants to know what 13 Fishing, why it's called 13, but I guess, the stigma that was around the unlucky number 13 and their motto, make your own luck, is why they called it 13.
Got it. Well, that's something I didn't even know, so that's great.
Make your own luck. So they still do huge ice catalog. And then they got into the bass fishing, I guess 3 or 4 years ago. I really launched into bass fishing. And now today, we have some of the best pros in the business: Gerald Swindle, Jacob Wheeler, David Lefebvre, Davey Height, who's a Bassmaster legend, but also one of the hosts of Bassmaster TV now. And those guys are very involved in the company now, designing baits, designing rods and reels. Gerald Swindle's all over the rods and reels. And a lot of the stuff he's fishing right now is prototypes that they're working on for stuff that's coming out.
Awesome.
Very exciting things happening with 13 as a company. They have, I think he's got the website pulled up there. They have a great website. Everything you can find on there. There's even videos on some of the baits, like the ever popular Jabberjaw that we're going to talk about a little bit today.
Yeah.
But it kind of some background on how it was developed, and you can find retailers like you guys, the Cain Pole. You're listed on there, and it's a great website, great company, and man, like I said, they have pretty much everything. And on the baits, they're not a Me Too kind of copy company. All the baits, like people are familiar with the old Zara Spook, right? Well, their dual pitch actually has some different technologies and features about it. So it's not another Me Too bait. It's the Jabberjaw, the innovation they put into their crankbaits and their soft baits. They all have a really good reason that they were developed, and what they do is features of the bait. So.
You know, it's interesting that you use that name Me Too, because there's a lot.
There's a lot
right?
of Me Too.
There's a lot.
The fishing business is huge
Yeah.
on Me Too stuff.
Yeah. Everybody wants to copy like the rock crawler or
Yeah.
some specific bait, and nobody's done that yet, right?
Right.
Not yet.
Yeah, like, the Jabberjaw, there's actually a guy had a patent on a swinging bill crankbait, and 13 found that patent and got it from the guy, and then they took in some development on their own. So this bait actually has a patent pending on the bill and the metal jowls that it has inside the crankbait. But this crankbait makes its own noise underwater because it has a metal bill with metal jowls inside the head of it, and the bill swings back and forth and creates a clack, 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 clack sound. So this is actually, they don't call it a crankbait, they call it a hybrid bait, because it's really unclassifiable because of the movement of the bill and some of the things it does. But they basically modeled this thing after the popularity of a square bill crankbait and how much people love the square bill.
Yeah.
And then a swimming jig, like you guys had some of the Z-Man stuff up here. The blade bait. This is kind of a combination of both a square bill and a blade bait.
Yeah, of course.
So it's got a totally different action underwater. It kind of moves erratically. It makes sound that's crazy sound underwater. The videos on the website kind of put it up there, and this is huge. It's a fish catching bait. A lot of companies will say, "Oh yeah, you'll catch the heck out of fish on them," but this has proven to be one of those baits that you keep on all the time. And
well, I can tell you that we've had a few customers come in and be like, you know how they are, right? You'll see, like, I don't know, is it something I really should get? Is it just some other new technology it's not going to work or whatever? They came and bought one, took it out to a local lake, and then they come. I named several that came right back in and ended up buying 4 or 5 or 6 of them,
or 4 or 5 or 6 different colors.
That's right.
Because this is called day old guac, but this is one of the cool colors that I like. It's crawfish pattern. I used one last weekend fishing the river and caught smallmouth on it back to back to back. Almost every cast in the river we were catching one, and this in topwater they were smoking the top.
Now, speaking of, you were on the Little Baron.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Just a week last week or this?
So yeah, it was Sunday. So
Okay.
4 days ago.
Yeah. Okay, you're a big
Kentucky.
kayaker.
Yeah, I started kayaking Kentucky because I'm a smallmouth bass junkie.
Right.
And we have some of the most awesome smallmouth bass fishing in the rivers of Kentucky on the planet. Great smallmouth. Sunday, they just happened to be really mad at topwater baits, and between my buddy and I, we probably caught, at least, not an exaggeration to say 100 fish each.
Yeah.
And I'm talking 12 to 18-inch smallmouth.
Yeah. Fun.
In topwater, blast. But the rivers, you got to learn a lot to kayak the rivers.
Yeah.
Where to put in, where to go. It's usually good to have a buddy to pick you up, or leave
right.
a truck somewhere so you can get back to your truck. But yeah, so I love fishing the rivers in Kentucky, and there's so many of them. The Green is awesome, Barron is awesome, Little Barron, the Kentucky River is good. There's just some really good smallmouth.
We had one of our commissioners on, Ed McDaniel, a few weeks ago, and he goes down to Cumberland. He likes to go down to Cumberland towards the falls and fishes that. There's a stretch he likes to go down and fish, and they usually do really well down there. And they go down and pull off on this one site and camp, come back out and go down the rest. But I think his last trip, he went down with his buddy, and they thought it was okay because they checked the water level and everything, but they got down there and all of a sudden they started hearing this noise. Yeah, and then they were like, oh, we can't go over that, right? And they got pretty nervous, and they were doing everything they could to paddle, and then I think they flipped. They fell out in one of their kayaks, and next thing you know, he's lost some gear, and then his buddy's rod was laying right here, and when he fell off, his buddy tried to grab his rod, and when he did, it hooked him right in the face, right? And so he's sitting there hanging in the water with a hook in his hand. It was, anyway, but
Yeah, you got to learn.
It's definitely
you definitely have to learn the rivers because I mean, it's like you can fish in a boat on the Cumberland River below Wolf Creek Dam like a bass boat, right?
Right.
But if you don't know the release schedule on some of these things like that,
it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good. It's not going to be fun. You may end up in Tennessee
Quick.
kayak.
That's right.
And you don't know the release schedules, but you have to learn the rivers, and it's not easy to fish the rivers. A lot of people, will float and float and float. We get out and walk and drag our boats a lot and really fish out the big holes and the big pools, and try to make every cast we can into one big pool. And you may catch 20 fish out of the pool, and if you floated by it, you would probably only caught 2 or 3.
Right.
So it's fun to exploit the river like that and catch some good fish.
That's
They're
awesome.
fun.
Well, we have a few 13 fishing items here that we sell. So one of them obviously is the Jabberjaw.
Yeah.
The Dale Guac, actually, funny story, that's the one that when I went down to the Pittman show, I was like, hey man, I'm trying to order this bait, but I can't find them. And it wasn't on there, right? And I was people were begging me to get that color. All right, so finally got it on there and got some in. Excuse me. So we are loaded back up with Jabberjaws here and got a bunch of different colors. In fact, the famous Tweety Pie.
Yeah, the Tweety Pie is awesome.
Is a big one.
They're coming out with some new colors. They'll be releasing some new colors at ICAST. I can't talk a lot about what's coming out at ICAST.
It's okay.
There's a lot of colors in this bait available. They're funny names, but they're your standard colors that you would find in most baits, or the baits that most people want to fish. They're going to match shads and gizzard shad and craws and bluegill and things like that. Dreamgill is one of their colors that you have out there, I believe. Rusty bream, was the color I saw out there. But great crankbait. It's one of those baits that would probably be in your go-to bag if you're fishing on Crankbait Lake.
Okay.
Very cool.
And we can't say much, but we can say that.
I think Jacob Wheeler had mentioned already, so I can mention a little bit. There is another size coming out, and it's going to be a deeper bait. This bait, the normal Jabberjaw runs about 4 feet deep, and the new one's going to run deeper. So it's going to be awesome.
It's exciting.
I'll release it at ICAST, and I'll be
great.
able to take orders for it here pretty soon and get you guys shipped in.
Awesome.
Here. So
can't wait.
And then you got 2
rods.
rods.
Well, let me say this. So one of the things here, and I'm going to speak on basis of a retail store, is it is hard. I can't carry every rod company in the world, right?
Right.
Or I wouldn't have any store space in here. It'd be all rods.
Right.
And so you got to kind of pick and choose rods. And I try really hard to make sure that I don't have a lot of competing rods in the same price point. You know what I mean? So if you want the $79.99 rods, $99 rods, I mean, I've got a lot of 99, but the 79 price point usually is around the Ducket. You know what I mean? The 99's around between the Arc and the SLXs and the lower end Shimano's, and then you move up. And so one of the things you and I had talked about is just trying to find that price point where I could get somebody in, to a bait caster or have a little bit nicer rod. And I think the first thing you turned me on were the Rely rods.
Yeah.
Right?
So 13 is like I said, it's an extensive line. And so this is their opening price point bass rod, or any go-to rod. I say bass, but you can catch a walleye and a trout with it, whatever. But it's based around the bass fishing world. And the Rely is a 24-ton graphite blank. And let me back up. 13 Fishing has rods that start at $39.99 and go all the way to $450.
Oh, of course.
Retail. We have the new Envy coming out that will go against an NRX feature for feature all day long. So they make top of the line rods.
Yep.
But what happens is that top of the line technology filters down into their entire lineup. So what you get in the Rely is a really nice rod. They feel good. They have good components on them. They're all Evolve components, reel seat, the hook, snaggletooth hook keeper down here. the Alkanite stainless steel evolved
Yeah.
guides. They're a really nice rod. I call the Rely the baller on a budget, right?
Yeah.
The young man you had up here with you earlier.
Yeah.
A guy like that can go buy 24 tournament rods and not spend a lot of money.
That's right.
You know, not break the bank.
That's right.
So that's where the Rely comes in. Really, is a really, really good opening price point rod.
Well, and I'll say this: it's hard to come in and go, okay, I'll say this because it's not that I'm knocking Walmart, but I'll say it this way: a lot of guys come in and be like, hey, it's time for me to graduate, from the Walmart rod to the next rod.
Yep.
And if you look at a $100 rod and a $150 reel, you're at $250, tax included, man, you're right under $300 already. So to be able to get you a $99 reel,
Yep.
right, or a $79.99 reel and put it on a $39.99 rod, it's better than what you're just going to buy right off the shelf. Right?
Yeah,
But it's not at the $300 point where you feel like, man, I can't buy 4 of them.
And I have a huge fishing background, and one thing I've noticed in using the products and the stuff that 13 makes is this is a $39.99 rod that should be $89.99, right? And
Yeah.
the whole line is kind of like that. Our $79 reels will go against a $159 reel every day.
Okay.
So the 13 fishing line, you're getting a lot more than a $39.99 rod.
Right,
This
for
is
sure.
Like I said, I would fish tournaments with
Yeah,
this
and I
rod.
think it's a good-looking rod. Like I'm not a big fan of all white.
Right.
Okay, I'll just be honest. But that's me. A lot of guys like full white rods, so I like that it goes white to black, right? And it kind of trims up. So I've sold several of them.
Yeah.
Right, a lot, and it's a great-looking rod for the price point.
Yeah, and so even you can go out and find videos of Gerald Swindle. He fishes our Omen Black series
Yeah.
on tournament. Well, the Omen is in between this series, the Fate Black that you have.
Yeah.
It's the right in here with this one. And he likes them because they're like blue collar, working man baller
Yeah.
on a budget rods. And
That's
they're
right.
tough. They're good rods. So you've also got the Fate Black.
Yep.
This is a 30-ton graphite blank. So you get a little bit different evolve reel seats and things on this, a little upgraded from the basics on the Rely. But it's also just a great rod. You have, I think, spinning, casting, there's cranking rods in both of these series. There's every different action, length, and style you want to fish in both of these.
And once again, $79.99.
$79.99.
Probably
and I think
more like
when you get
100
into like the flipping stick side of this, they're $94, $95
Right.
bucks. So this one is $39 and $49 when you get into the heavier
Has this got a little bit upgraded eyes
Yep.
for this one,
Yep,
right?
Yep. They're upgraded, evolved. They're also Alkanite stainless steel guides, but they're a little bit upgraded from those. But yeah, they're great rods. $79 price point. You can't beat the technology that's in it. It's got some cool carbon fiber wrap look to it down there, and yeah, they're great rods. You guys have really good price points on the 13 fishing stuff.
Yeah.
And what you chose to bring into the store.
Yeah, and it's something I don't have today. So it was a great thing for us. We just need to get our rod rack there.
It's coming. We'll email Kate from the hotel tonight. Make sure the rod rack is coming.
Yeah, man. And then so some new rods, maybe. Is there some new
There's
things
a ton
coming?
of new rods.
Okay.
They're actually you'll see some of it'll be one of the biggest fishing lineups in the country over the next few years. But there's new spinning reels coming. They're salt and freshwater capable. There's new bait casters that are baller on a budget bait casters that are,
Okay.
Those are some of the reels that are going to be $69 that will compete every day with a $159 reel from
Awesome.
my competitors. They're really good products. They're coming out with trolling rods, killer panfish rods, the trolling kind of, I guess, walleye, live
Crappie
bait
or the
rods.
okay.
Yeah. So they have coming out with a lot of new stuff.
Okay.
And there's some new rods in there called the Blackout series we're selling currently that are fantastic rods at a $79 price point.
Okay.
But there's a lot of new stuff coming.
Awesome.
It's going to be an exciting year and exciting seeing the new catalog. So
I just think the whole fishing community right now is just, it's so high.
yeah.
and it's crazy.
You know, for a while you thought it was kind of falling off, but all of
Yeah.
a sudden it seems, I don't know if COVID, everybody got out fishing more. It's just,
I mean,
it's insane.
it is insane, and I think it has been great for the sport.
Yeah.
And I think that more people are starting to get into fishing. I'm selling more licenses.
Yeah.
People are wanting to get into bass fishing, the more elite side, I guess. But I tell you what else has picked up, and I don't know if you've ever done this, but we have like so many local pay lakes, and these guys catfish like crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and it is a huge market.
I follow the forums on like Facebook and stuff. There's Fishing Kentucky Rivers, Lakes, and Creeks forum. And it's amazing to me how many people bank fish and catfish and do things that, you know, we have boats and we've always had boats, but I love bank fishing too. And you know, I grew up in Colorado, so I walked trout streams and grew up trout fishing. And there's some great trout fishing in Kentucky too. So
there is.
There's not a lot of things you can't do in Kentucky.
No, it's.
But yeah, fishing is crazy. I mean, there's the development of technology and the rods and reels, the baits that have come out, you know, that are really cool. I mean, who would have ever thought this would have been one of the top baits in the world, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of one of the go-tos now, and it's one of my go-tos. I fish them all the time. But yeah, so fishing is ever more popular. You know, you guys asked me if I tube fish. That's one of the things I've never done. I know my 13 fishing guys do it because they're up in Minnesota lakes,
up north, yeah,
and they fish a lot of tubes up in there for smallmouth, and it's just one of those things I've never done personally. But
I don't do it a lot either.
you know, when I started bass fishing, I was fishing like Sam Rayburn in Lake Fork, Texas, and guiding on Lake Fork, Texas, and fishing for big fish and fishing the grime and it's just one of those things I never did, flipping tubes. You know, I always flipped a crawl, or, you know, a jig or something else. But it's good, yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, one of the things I asked you to do is just go around the store, pick out a few of your favorite baits that you like to throw in the creeks, while you're kayaking, whether you're in the lake or whatever. And so we talked a little bit about 13, but what else would you go around and pick,
I'll go back to the smallmouth on the rivers
Yeah.
for a second. You know, once the water temperature in the river hits the upper 70s and it's sunny or cloudy and it's summertime and you can wade without waders, if you're not fishing topwater bait, you're crazy.
That's right.
It's fun. So, you know, this last weekend I fished a Zara Spook. Basically, it's the 13 dual pitch. Is our version of it, but I fish that constantly. If I'm not throwing topwater, I will probably be throwing a Ned rig in the rivers because, you know, the colors, molting craw, Drew's craw, California craw,
Hot
really
craw.
doesn't matter. Hot
good
craw,
one.
they're all awesome for the river smallmouth. So I'm a big Ned rig believer because I catch so many smallmouth in them on the rivers. I love black buzzbaits, so I picked one of those up off the shelf.
We saw a lot of black buzzbaits here.
And you know, I was never one of those that would throw. I don't know that I ever threw white buzzbaits, but if I threw a buzzbait, it was probably black, and it didn't matter what time of year it was or whatever for me. But love those.
I'm almost tempted to like change all of my buzzbaits and just never carry anything but black because that's what typically everybody buys, right?
Yeah. My Kentucky fishing, when I was fishing the bass stuff around here, I got to love football head jigs on the lakes, you know, Kentucky Lake and Wheeler, Wilson, Pickwick, and all that, the Tennessee River chain. I love throwing jigs. I love heavy cover finesse football jigs, and I would throw that almost all the time. I think Jewel makes one. I don't know if you carry Jewel jigs in here, but football jigs are huge.
That's actually a little Rex lives just around the corner.
Yeah, you told me.
And he runs
there's a bunch of guys making jigs in Kentucky too.
Yeah,
We talked
there's a
about that
lot
earlier.
of jig
and
makers
they're
in
good
Kentucky.
ones too. Like
Yeah.
this T-Rex, Rex Allen. And then spinnerbaits. I mean, I'm a big fan of burning spinnerbaits, especially around grass.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, you know, I like a burning spinnerbait, and I fish. I've always been I was never a guy that would throw a pink tube, or a pink bait. I always was kind of the match the hatch guy, you know, natural colors and shad colors and crawfish colors, and that was just my thing when I was fishing.
Nothing exotic.
Nothing exotic. I'm not an exotic guy.
Right.
I think if it's in there and they can find it, you know, that's what I tried to match. So I always went with chartreuses and whites and shad colors and spinnerbaits, black.
Pretty common. Black. Yeah.
Make it look like a bluegill or something.
That actually spinnerbait. Do you know who that is?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that's made by Spot Sticker.
Okay.
Right out of Oklahoma. They are a great company, Ryan, and he hand makes, like, anytime I order it, it's put together by order. So I can order any blades I want. Those are actually, if you notice, they're painted.
Yeah.
The blades
They're very cool blades.
Yeah, and so that's called the Mini Me, and that was made popular. That is the spinnerbait 2 years ago that was used to catch with the FLW that the guys caught all those spots on, right? Because they were doing exactly what you're talking about. It was a finesse spinnerbait. It pulled a lot of water, displaced a lot of water, and they could burn it, right? And they were burning it next to the docks, and that's how they were catching them, right?
Yeah.
And so that's called the Mini Me by Spot Sticker.
It's a great looking bait. Love the painted blades. Those are very cool.
We sell a lot of
Sparkly.
Sparkly. There's your Ned rig guy. He loves the Ned rig.
You know,
right?
it's hard.
Isn't it crazy? Why? Why?
There's not a fish in the river or lake that won't eat it.
But why? What is the?
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
And the TRD is.
Let's just cut a Cinco in half.
The TRD is my favorite Ned rig bait.
Yeah.
I mean, you can Ned rig. I use their craw a lot too. The TRD craw.
Right.
But the finesse TRD craw, whatever it is.
It's hard to get away from this though.
But I've caught, like in Barren River, for instance, I caught a 22-inch smallmouth on one cast to a log jam, and the next cast I caught a 24-inch walleye. And then about an hour later, I caught a 40-inch muskie on the same bait.
We got a 37-pound carp.
Yeah.
10-pound drum. It doesn't really matter. They'll eat it.
I caught crappie on it. Big crappie down there.
Red eyes eat it. Bass,
So,
you know, it's amazing to me.
It is. I will tell you, I wish I had a pack. I think I might have a pack over there. I don't think it's the natural color, but we'll check it out. Nico, do you know anything about Nico baits? Have you tried their Helgramites?
Not yet, but I think that would be something I would try.
Yeah, definitely in the creek. I sell a ton of them.
And so, like, you know, you sell several different brands of the Ned rigs.
Yeah.
I pour my own, and that I use them so much now that this is one of the only things that I pour on my own.
Right. Well, you know why I sell a lot of
jigs and
those.
spinnerbaits, but-
I'll be honest. So I love throwing a drop shot, right? And I rig up a Ned rig and a drop shot, but I love throwing the drop shot. But, What, Randy?
What?
Isn't that white thing a drop shot white?
Yeah, that big white buoy. Yeah.
That's a drop
So I sell a lot of these because some guys, I mean, this it doesn't hold up great. Okay, we know that. I mean, the metal bait keeper will come off eventually, and it ruins it. You won't hold it anymore. This hook bends really easy.
Yeah.
But there is advantages to that. You get stuck, it bends out, you bend it back. But I've also had it break off in a fish before.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but they serve their purpose. They're a finesse head.
Finesse
so Strike King's got their weedless one. Savage
I use a lot of the
Gears.
weedless ones. They make a weedless one.
They
too.
do. They make a finesse
I use
bullet.
a lot of weedless ones.
So you could Texas rig them in the finesse bullet.
Current.
Yeah.
And you know, those big wire weed guards used to scare me, but they don't anymore because I fish. You know, they eat it. You
Yeah.
know, and you can get around the wire weed.
Now,
guards.
Savage Gear has some interesting ones that are actually, I like them. But they, instead of their bait keeper, it actually clamps on. So you push the bait underneath and then it clamps onto it,
pretty cool.
which is different. And
I
I've sold a lot
actually
of those.
represent another company called Crusher Lures, and they make Ned rig heads and jig heads and stuff. But
In my opinion, the best Ned hook on the market right now is the owner hook. It's the owner.
The blockhead. Yep.
And it is.
It is a good hook.
fantastic. I'm in love with it. It's got.
He's in love with it. But you don't throw Ned rig, so what does it matter?
Well,
right? Do you sleep with that pack?
I do actually.
Okay,
I've got
okay.
2 packs of them in my dresser.
Okay, good.
It's the hook in it. For me, it's kind of it's not really the light wire where it'll bend, but it's light enough wire you don't have to reel down and jack it. You can still reel into it.
Right.
However you like to do it, but it doesn't get hung up as much. I don't know if it's the diameter of the head or what it is, but it just doesn't get hung as much for me. And I like the fall rate of it.
Okay.
13 is a majority owned by Rapala, so you're going to find VMC hooks on all their stuff, and I believe like owner VMC makes a Ned head that's pretty awesome and strong.
VMC
too.
makes, in my opinion, the best wacky hook on the market
Yeah,
too.
I'm a big fan of their wacky hooks.
Yep. We sell a lot of VMC, and their price point is so good.
Great,
Dude,
yeah.
$2.99 for a pack of wacky.
You know what I mean?
Their Kentucky rep's kind of a jerk, but
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, you can say that.
he's one of my best friends.
You know what? I'm going to get on his case. He has a 6-foot Rapala lure at his house. It's been there for 6 months, and it was supposed to come up here, and he was supposed to come visit me. He said, I'll be there next week. I'll be there in 2 weeks.
Haven't seen him, have you?
No! In fact, I might ring him up on the phone here in a minute.
Next time I see him, I'll
Yeah,
I'm going to yell at him.
It's massive.
rub his little
rod
bald
look
head
like?
when you see him.
You throw it on a 4-foot ultralight. That's just go to 6-footer on.
I'm, you know,
Call him up on the show.
you want to call him up on the show?
Make
You
sure
can.
you tell him that we're live.
We don't have to. So
Yeah, because he will say words that shouldn't be.
Yeah. Watch this.
Yeah. First
this.
of all, we are live
Let's see.
on Facebook.
I'll tell him. I'll tell him. He probably won't answer.
He probably won't. He could. No, he's not watching.
Let's be real.
No, he's not. He's probably like, oh crap, Kent's calling.
He's
I haven't come up there to visit him.
He's one of my best friends. but
He's a great
he's
dude.
Also, my wife's cousin.
Well,
we're actually
See,
fans.
Listen.
You have to like it.
He's a great dude. Like, we joke around all the time.
So if you call him, I bet he'll answer.
He probably will.
You think so? Oh,
The
man.
Colin Show.
He might.
He's going to be bad. That's okay. I mean, look, it's one of his best friends. I mean, he probably would answer.
You do the. I've done the same thing with you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. But he'll know something's going on.
He may not answer.
He's fishing.
He's probably
He
not
could
fishing.
be fishing. They've been going down to Kentucky Lake Dam and
Have they?
bumping catfish.
Oh, that would be
With
something
a friend
his
of
style.
ours. So, yeah.
Anyway, see, I don't feel bad now.
He did.
At least that'd been bad.
I don't
if
feel
he had
bad.
the first ring.
I mean, I've been
Hey, dude,
unbelievable.
that kid looks trying to come.
Yeah,
We just could have given him better grief about it. So.
yeah, it'd
would've
been
it'd
been
one of
awesome.
those things.
I mean, you can't answer your customer,
priceless.
but you know, it's okay.
We were going to give away $500 gift.
Oh, that's right. We were.
Didn't make it.
Yep, you lost. So, yeah, he's. Hey, man, I'll be up there in less than a week. I promise. I haven't seen him, but I love him.
He's
It's hate to hate him. I can't hate him. I love
you
him.
Can't hate him.
You know what I mean? I hope he watches the show. I'm gonna send him the link. Hey, man, we
Yes.
talked about you, Keith. I don't know.
Let's tag him. What's his name?
Anyway, let's see. Can we go back? We've got some questions really quick. All right, and it's almost 8 o'clock. So can we scroll
Hey,
up?
fellas, what you fishing now?
No.
That's the questions I put up.
Give us your rods and oh, that's you,
Yeah, that's me. Keith, what's his last name?
Hudson.
Hudson.
Let's see. Keith Hudson's on Facebook. Is that him?
Yep.
The first one?
I can't
so.
tell. I can't see.
Can't
The,
tell.
I can't see the picture.
It looks like he's wearing sunglasses and a cap.
Anyway,
There's 3 Keith Hudsons.
what's up, Johnny McIntosh? He said, "Hey, fellas,
Jay, baby.
Jay, what you doing?"
It's Jay, baby.
That's right. You can't come in. You got to come in. I didn't see you today. He usually comes in, hangs out in the store, shops for a while.
He might have actually had to do something today.
Yeah, he might actually had to work.
He
I
doesn't
wonder-
No, those
Johnny.
aren't him.
No.
Those aren't him.
Okay, let's not worry about it.
Sorry, Keith.
You got any
Don't take it
questions?
wrong, Keith.
That's all right.
Just got a picture of his wife.
Let's see.
Oh,
All right. Well,
I was trying to get questions. Everybody must be out fishing.
yeah, they're probably all out fishing. It's nice. I told you the show, like, it picks up in the winter,
I know.
right? In the
I know.
summer, man, it's
I know.
you know, everybody wants to get out. I don't blame them. I wouldn't be sitting in front of the TV when it's actually nice outside instead of raining.
I'll replay this Friday night.
So, hey, thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, that's my pleasure. Being on
You
here is
Oh,
good.
wait a minute. There's a question.
Yeah,
Josh Wiggins.
I'm going to have to get you a different shirt. Laugh out loud, Dawa.
To you.
See?
Or
Yeah.
me. I
Who
don't
knows? Who's that too? Stop talking about my go-to Ned rig, Johnny McIntosh.
Johnny is a yoga pants phenomenon. I don't know if
He
that's
is.
what the hell y'all talked about. But
Josh, who you talking about? Me or Nate?
I probably meant you.
Probably me.
Yours.
He probably wants me to put a Dawa shirt on.
Shindako.
Josh.
Shindako.
I do.
Any
I
questions
don't
for
have a
the
Dawa
Ballmaster?
shirt. I need an Abu Garcia shirt. I don't have one of them. kind of rod you got there, buddy?
Buddy, this is my.
Anyway,
This
so
is
hey,
my promotional pole.
thank you for coming on. Thanks for just stopping by,
Yeah.
hanging out with us.
Yeah, it was
right?
fun.
It just happened to be show night, so that worked out great.
Yeah.
Definitely, we carry. If we're going to talk about 13 fishing, the Rely rods are in stock here. We have the Fate Black spinning rods right now. We don't have any of the bait casters or the casting rods. Sorry, at the moment I think we sold those, and then they're at $39.99 and $79.99 price points depending on the rod. And then look, there's the new Concept Z, right?
Awesome.
Right there on the website. So in the C2. So we are looking forward to getting a few of those reels in. We got some new, I don't want to say too much, but definitely some new colors for the Jabberjaws.
Awesome. Yeah, awesome
and
colors.
some potential depth changes
Depth changes.
in the Jabberjaws. Some new. Okay, getting down a little lower. Okay, so that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. And definitely some new rods and spinning reels and all kinds of things going on with 13.
Yeah, and 13, they're fun to follow on Instagram and Facebook and things because, you know, Gerald Swindle is one of the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah.
To listen to him talk, and it's always fun to get on there.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
You know, hear about his dude wipes and stuff.
Mountain Dew. Diet Mountain Dew sponsor.
Yeah, old Lulu.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So
And,
he speaks the truth when he's
and-
driving.
And Wheeler, you know, he puts out a lot of good videos. He's got some good videos on the Jabberjaw, and he can tell you a lot about the baits that they're using on 13. And they're helping develop. Wheeler's huge on bait development right now with 13. He's making all kinds of new baits and changes and stuff. There's some
Okay.
cool stuff coming.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to it. Do we want to have you? Do we want to close it up, Ian?
Yeah, I mean,
You can just come up here, man.
no, you just
We can never close a show without Ian coming up here.
You know-
Like he has to be here.
Ian's always honing in.
That, it's just part of it. If you've got a mullet, I'll just follow you around and be your friend. So
We need
you
a
go a
mullet.
little bit back here, and
No.
you never know.
We
No.
need a mullet bait.
Huh?
I mean, that you know,
Like the coffee machine,
But
like a
Ian-
coffee mate.
Called the Ian. Like there's got to be some kind of track something.
I need a hat that has the mullet
Yes,
built into
I
it so
told
that I
you.
can wear it.
And sell it here.
Yeah.
I'm telling
That's
you.
right.
Where you just put the hat on, it has the
Does
Ian
it come
mullet
with turds all wrapped around it? Ned rigs all
No,
around it?
no.
and some chicken lips.
Perfect.
I hate you.
Anyway. I know. You don't hate him.
Chicken lips, chicken lips.
Anyway, hey guys, I want to say thank you so much for turning the show. I want to say a big thanks to Nate Noble from 13 Fishing coming in and hanging out with us today. Obviously, the co-host Ian heard the word.
The turd.
The turd is here. And anyway, we've got some new stuff coming in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
The Bassmaster Classic is going
Got a new
on.
store
ICAST.
opening
We
up.
got a new store open up in a
ICAST
few
coming up.
weeks. iCast is coming up in late July.
Yeah.
So it's moved a couple weeks from when it normally is.
Counting down the days,
So
baby.
we're going to have some new stuff rolling in soon, certainly after iCast. So we're excited about that. Anyway, be safe out there. Have a great time fishing. Get out and go fishing. Unlike me, I've not been able to go, but certainly get out there and fish a little bit.
Are you like trying to get sympathy?
And good luck. All right. You all have a great week. We'll see you in
Peace.
2 weeks later.
I need one more. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for watching the Cane Pole Fishing Show. Visit the Cane Pole in Southern Hills Plaza or on Facebook. Thanks for watching and happy fishing. The Cane Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Okay, you see this place? This place here. It's the Cane Pole, the place you should be getting all of your bait and tackle. The latest in fishing technology, lures, reels, rods, line, and of course, bait, crickets, shiners, goldfish, frozen bait, and worms of all kinds. Too much to mention it all. Check out the Cane Pole on Facebook or come on by and let us show you how to catch more fish because catching fish is fun. The Cane Pole in Southern Hills Plaza, Richmond, KY.